Hey everybody, sorry for the wait. Things just weren't working. And when they don't work, they don't go. We're just trying out some new stuff here. Good to see you, 6 Crazy Cats. Good to see ya. Zeta, Flurth, Matthias, Dragon Man. Hope you're doing well. Oh, thank you. I'm still getting used to it. I use a foot control to be angry or happy. The neutrals right here. If that weren't different enough, I'm playing on a different Xbox controller. The Elite controller doesn't work anymore. Why? I don't know. I guess I just used it too much, but you know, in the commercials they said, oh, it's good for over 1 billion button presses. I don't think I pressed the buttons 1 billion times. Just going out there, I don't think I did that. I'm pretty sure it just fucking wasn't up for the task. So I gotta use a different controller, and it's got a little bit of a mushy D-pad. It's not a deal breaker, it's just, you know, not to my liking. Take it open and clean it? There's nothing in there, I've already done that. Like the contacts on the buttons don't work is one problem. The LB contacts are broken, so replacing that is going to cost a bit of money. Then in addition to that, the software is bugged and it won't see the controller. So either the software is bugged or somehow a piece of dirt got inside there and is somehow blocking the USB. But see, that wouldn't make any sense because it works perfectly well on the Xbox. So I don't think taking a toothbrush to it's gonna fix that, but I do appreciate the advice. Nah, Scotty Lewis, it's just another update and another update. I try not to complain about this stuff because it's lame. But yeah, YouTube does weird stuff like that once in a while. And I got a lot of folks complaining to me. It's like, hey, they just don't show up. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I can't help that. Well, I can help that a little bit, but there's like, there's some things you gotta do that aren't fun. Like the new swearing rules, that's not great. And unfortunately, some of the feedback doesn't really work out. Like, you know, I can ask, hey, to stream it in 1440p, like make it lag at 480p. And the response would be, yeah, 1440p lags my computer. It's like, so when I stream in 1440p, does it lag you? Yeah, it does. It's like, even when you're watching in 480. No, when you stream in 480, it's fine. I'm like, oh, I can't blame you. You're not embedded in this as much as I am, right? But they don't, you gotta rely on like an invisible set of rules that's discussed between you and other people that use the service, and those rules are insane. I'm dead. Mushy D-pad, playing him on that. Stream at 10p, yeah, and then we'll just clean the video, and it'll look fine. How's the Folio? I mean, I like it. Might have to reduce the difficulty though, but that's the point of the mod, right? To be really hard. A lot of tanky enemies. They love just throwing a bunch of tanky stuff at you, which I guess it does make it harder. I'd almost rather everything instant kill me though than have to do this weird like push it back stuff. Well, Scotty, it's 18 days into the new year, so I'd expect a lot to not have happened. Maybe that old controller really did help me out, though. I missed the non-mushy D-pad. It was a lot easier to just, you know, swing around. But now I got a convenient excuse if I lose. And just go, oh, well, that was the controller that did that. That wasn't me. Either way, I'm rusty. So let's not be insane. Let's just do a cane run on normal then. Default Folio easy bake oven or easy snake oven is a lot of mushy bullet sponge enemies. They really filled out the start of the game with those. And yeah, I could tell. Like, just that little extra push you got to put on the D-pad to make Isaac move means that you got to like move a little bit ahead of time, so it, you know, your reflexes can't be quite as fast. Although I don't think I'm moving like with my eyes or my actual reactions within the quarter of a second, but it's kind of like when you're playing a song, like on a keyboard or the drums, and it's like, no, my hits are accurate because I know, like, I knew before I walked into the building when I was going to hit the cymbal. So, you know, that can be measured within milliseconds, but like, you know, I saw the pixels, and when the pixels hit, I casually moved my hand over and grazed the D-pad and moved flawlessly to dodge the thing. That, you know, reaction speed doesn't quite work like that. So the thing about Fiend Folio is there's a lot of new enemies, so that muscle memory that I use, much like a musician would, ain't quite effective. Then stack on a mushy D-pad and you got yourself a recipe for death. Hawkeye guys in the hospital. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. I don't know. It seems like since it seems like since 2001, the world's been like, this is the worst year ever. The worst year of my life. And everybody's depressed, and everybody's got PTSD, and everybody's got, you know, a problem that they need to be cured, and they all need to spend money to cure that problem. All the problems require money to cure, and everybody's in everybody's business. We live in a world where people hate lawyers, but they'll call one at the drop of a hat. They hate police, but they call one at the drop of the hat. They hate their family, but they call them the second they need. You know what I mean? Not saying that the whole world's gone rotten. I'm just saying, like, it's never changed. It's always been that way is actually my point. I'm kind of going off reservation here. People think the current thing is the worst possible thing because that's what they're experiencing now. It's like how a dog experiences your presence. When you leave the room, you're gone forever. Similarly, every year except for the one I'm experiencing at this current second was the best year, and we all loved it, and nothing bad happened, you know. 2001, great year. You know what was worse? You know what? You know what was worse than 2001? It was 2020, bro. 2020, way worse than 2001. I need to actually dodge. I'm not dodging. I just realized as I was trying to move, like, this character moves fast. I can't just, like, hammer him with projectiles and hope for the best. Thankfully, the bloody baby will help with that since he will follow our lead. And these things, well, they're interesting. Little spider nests, but these little soy spiders, you just step on them. You just step on them. Austin T says the best year ever was 536. Yeah, it was a good year too. All the years that we're not currently experiencing were the best. You know, they don't make things like they used to make. Except that they do. Like, everything is exactly as they used to make because there hadn't been original. So, you know, which is it? Do they not make things like they used to, or do they make everything like they used to? Because it can't be both. You can't be like, I'm tired of all these reboots and rehashes and reimaginings. They don't make things like they used to. Like, no, that's the point. They're trying too hard to do that. Ah, shit. But when you think about it, it's completely the audience's fault. Of course, that's rarely brought up. The only people who bring it up are like snobby film critics, and nobody wants to listen to them, but it's true. Like, you know, the reason why they make shit like that they make is because people like it. It's just the fucking facts. If you're ever like, I can't understand, this thing sucks so bad compared to this niche anime that I watch all the time. It's really, really good. Why doesn't anybody appreciate it as much as I do? It's because people watched it and said your thing was boring. And you know what? It probably is legitimately better than all the other things too. Here's the deal. It didn't make any money. Oh, money's a funny thing when it comes to art. How does it feel to know that somebody printing out garbage on Etsy makes more money in 2 months than somebody animating your favorite anime makes in a whole year? Person making keychains and stuff is based off of the thing is making more money than the people who had to like spend their entire year drawing it. Their whole year was drawing the thing. Oh, I could go in on that. Doing a Jason show and a Gremlin show, sure, why not? They don't make them like they used to, except when they do the exact same thing over and over again. That's not the same because it's not on a VHS tape. It's not analog horror. And what's the new term? Elevated horror? You'll watch me an A24 film, elevated horror. What makes it elevated? Well, you see, it's boring. Made sure to make it lame. And by making it more boring, we've elevated the horror because it's scarier when the monster comes out when we just sit you there for like an hour and do fucking nothing. It's way scarier. We got an I am error room that I can escape. That's pretty good.
Tears up.
Okay, let's play smart since this is harder. Usually not supposed to be able to leave those. Maybe I just don't remember it right. I don't know. Easy Snake Oven says elevated horror is where you're slightly off the ground. Yeah, that's right. That's a ticket. Elevated horror. They gotta come up with like a new name for everything. It's like new metal, where it's like, no, that's just rock music, but with like a drum machine. And the lyrics are a bit more like hip hop instead of like metal, but it's, I mean, you gotta name it something. I get that. But it seems like elevated horror only applies like 1 or 2 directors. And then you go, well, what about indie horror? Like, not like in motion pictures, because I haven't seen an indie horror film. Like, if it's on Netflix, I don't really consider it an indie film at that point. It's been financed. Like let it go. But indie horror, we have the Backrooms, and the Backrooms is pretty cool as a concept. Like, here's this giant, like, inescapable labyrinth, right? And there may be a monster in there that gets you. Who knows? You know, it's a very vague-looking monster. And all that's come out of that is like, let's put fucking Poppy's fucking playtime in there. Let's cram some fucking Chuck E. Cheese robot thing in there. Let's just shit it up with references over and over and over with the references. Endless references to previous things, endless. And that's the Backrooms now. It's like SCP. It got all shitty because now like there's like it takes the form of Sonic the Hedgehog and it runs around the background. You know, it just doesn't. It's not scary when you put all your self-insert bullshit into them. You know what I mean? I think the easiest way to disarm a horror thing in the modern sense is when the viewer, like you remove the viewer's ability to self-insert themselves into the thing because you made the character yourself already. Or, you know, something like that. It's, you know, the old story like the lady was in the car and the killer was in the car the whole time. It's like, okay, that only applies to 51% of the planet if you're talking gender, I guess. But, you know, it's still at least a wide swath of people. I just ain't seeing that with SCPR, in this case now the back rooms, to where it's just not there. Traded in says existential horror is dead. Yeah, so is comedy. Like, they don't make comedy movies like The Naked Gun anymore, you notice, or Hot Shots, or like, you can name it. There's tons of movies that were released in the 80s, like Police Academy and stuff like that. They were just comedies. They were genuine comedies. Now the closest you get is like the Ghostbusters reboot that isn't very funny. It's like, here's a serious story of the dead one. He died. I mean, it's still better than the other one. Maybe the pure comedy just sucks though, because the Ghostbusters before that one did kind of blow shit. I don't know. Then again, they don't pay anybody to work on these. Like, you look at that the all-female reboot of Ghostbusters, you're like, oh man, that sucked. Hope they got fired for that one. It's like, dude, they weren't even being paid that much to be there to begin with. They were they made nothing. I mean, you know, people are like, yeah, I make 6 figures. Guess how much actors? They're 4 figures. I made 4 figures on this gig. Like, okay, maybe they got paid like $18,000, maybe. But, you know. Old Neighbor says they cannot make Blazing Saddles in the current year. They're doing a history. Mel Brooks is doing a movie that has Jews in space in it, so maybe they will. I think you can make a Blazing Saddles movie these days. You just couldn't get like a company to pay for it is all. That's the problem. Like, you know, shit. Like, how you gonna get HBO or Netflix to greenlight that? It's way, I mean, you know, I think they would greenlight Blazing Saddles like movie, but only to piss people off, to get like attention, right? Not to make people laugh or to make a point or to anything like that. It would just be a pure marketing thing. It's like, yeah, we need to piss them off real fucking good. Get on Twitter, get on all the things, make sure to post about it. You know how they, you know, what they call it, black PR, to where you pretend to be your opposition and say something real fucking stupid, so people are like, oh wow, look how dumb they are. Yeah, that kind of thing. I think you see that with like that Velma show, right? George's like, this'll make them angry, tee-hee-hee-hee. And I mean, at least from what I've seen of the show, I paid for HBO Max. I give my money no matter what. I don't care if it's rated #1. But from what I saw from the first episode, because, you know, give things a try as well. It's just there to piss you off. If you like Scooby-Doo a whole lot, it's there to make you go, that's not how Scooby-Doo goes. And these characters are mean, and this show's gross. It's like the Spider-Man Elsa thing, but for Netflix and HBO. So get used to that. It looks like HBO discovered the YouTube clickbait formula of like, yeah, just like take characters and make them all fucking weird, and then after you make them fucking weird, make sure to just shit on the audience, piss them off real good. Piss off anybody, even not the target audience. Just piss off enough people so that they talk about it. It's not about getting the people who hate it to watch it. It's about pissing off enough people to get free advertisement on the internet. Which, you know, what do you expect? But then in the next breath, they'll put on like some kind of like, I don't know, this is for the people kind of shit. I'll just take it. I never use the devil's abacus. Yeah, I don't quite get how devil's abacus works, but that's fine. We don't need to know everything, do we? Sometimes things can be a surprise. I don't want to do a movie, have slack. Like, I've done things that are the length of a movie, like streams and stuff like that, and I don't mind long form content, but the thought about sitting down there and writing 2 hours worth of material kind of makes me not want to create things. I'm not disillusioned by making stuff, mind you. It's just the methods, right? Especially online, have gotten real bad. Like, everybody's like, oh, remember the Logan Paul thing where he's at the, remember the Logan Paul thing, right? Like, I don't even watch the guy. I don't even know what his voice sounds like, and I'm aware of what he does because it impacts what I do, right? In fact, it's my little hobby. So, you pay attention a little bit here and there. So, he goes and sees a corpse in the woods. And he's like, oh, look at this corpse. And then he has sex with it and bungles it real good. And then he goes and just starts saying a bunch of stuff and jumping on people's cars in Japan and generally terrorizing them. It was a pretty funny video, I have to personally say. I thought it was at least kind of silly. I don't see how you can't laugh at that. Like, look, an American tourist acting like a jerk. I think they did that in the Jackass movie, but, so he does that, people get angry, and then a rule changes. Like, something changes. Our advertising goes down. You pick them, anything can happen. Hell, same thing kind of happened to Planet Dolan a few times. Like, you go through several apocalypses, then it's like, hey, we're gonna change how language works here. We're gonna change how this works. We're gonna change how that works. And then you can only ignore it so much until it's like, oh, okay, so this just isn't what it used to be, right? And I'd say that's one of the worst things about working on an online platform, any of them. You shouldn't actually have a favorite platform. They should always have to work for you. What's calling card do? I guess it just stands there. Let him come over here. Oh, he ate him. Ah, oh, fuck. I'm confused. That's fine, though. I like randomizers. More games should have randomizer-like features similar to Binding of Isaac. I would love an MMO to where the loot is completely randomized, so like the chances of getting an epic weapon are insanely, crazy. But it can happen for anybody, right? You can just boot up the game and get the best sword ever made just off of a rant. That'd be fun. I don't know. Shima may have died. I have no idea. I tried to reach out, and to be frequently reminded of her does kind of suck. But that's it, right? What are you going to do? Like, I would at one point have made a request like, hey, please don't talk to me about Shima. Her and I dated, and when she vanished, it was devastating to me, but people were gonna be like, I want to fuck the pink cat. I need to know. And that's just gonna go on forever. There's just nothing you can do. And that's discouraging. I'll say that. It's always been discouraging. And it's all, I think what I like most of all is seeing people endlessly create videos to profit off of my missing, possibly dead friend. Boy, where would we be without them? So asking the big questions. What happened to this person I never met or knew anything about? I'm not gonna solve it, but I would like to make a few dollars. Oh, Shima's great to have around. Like, if I had an issue doing a script, she'd pick up my script. If she's busy, I'd pick up her script. We work together extremely well. But, to me, Shima's a real life person. To the other people, they're like, she owes us an explanation. I watched her videos for 8 months and I liked them a whole lot and made my pee-pee get erect and I want to jerk off to it more. So she owes me an explanation where she went as if like their wife vanished or something. And I'm sitting here thinking like, damn, man, I actually loved her. So it's really cool that it affects you most of all. You're the victim in all this. Yeah. I don't blame her for vanishing either. I get it. This isn't the most appealing thing. I have fun with it because I'm insane. I'm a little bit more loose with the sanity juice. But that being said, man, it's like I've been dealing with that for like half a decade, and it's not only still going on, but it's stronger than it's ever been. And I realized a long time ago, and I still know now, even if it fucked me up, right? Nobody gives a shit. If I did something real fucking crazy about it, like if I went fucking real fucking crazy and did something insane, it would just be a joke. It would just be funny. You know what I mean? They don't give a shit. They're there to get some attention and maybe like, you know, make a couple $100 off of a hot button topic that's easy to exploit people with. So yeah, I'm real impressed. It's fun. Good job. Entertainers don't get exploited hard enough. Let's as an audience fuck with them too. That's fun. And then they're like, why don't they make those shows like they used to? Well, they didn't get fucking paid to make them. That's one of the problems, is that they didn't like make enough money to, you know, earn a living. And then the people that they made the show for were ungrateful little, well, not all of them, but you know, a significant portion can be ungrateful little fucks. I think, what is it, the Cinemassacre Truth stuff, to where that like they're making fun of James Rolfe's receding hairline, and it's like, oh yeah, fuck him for going bald. How dare he? James Rolfe should stay entombed in a capsule. See, I watched him ever since I was a kid, so him going bald really fucks with me. It's just not the same. Why can't the show that I like be the same but different and on all the time forever, but also not there when I don't want it there? It's like, fuck, you want everything, every fucking thing, everything and nothing, and then you still don't know what you want. People are gonna roleplay as a character. That's a little different, Flirth, but I get why it'd make you uncomfortable. I definitely wouldn't care for it. Be like, oh, nice, have fun with your thing. Like, I hope you're enjoying it, person who wants to be the cartoon character. That's fine. I play a cartoon character. I pretend to be Hellbent all the time, right? It'd be kind of hypocritical for me to be like, oh, stop, but it's just, yeah, it gets to be a bit much after a point, and I get why Shima would just vanish, you know, all things considered. After hearing how people treated her after she left, thinking like, hey, you owe us, you should be here, and I'm just gonna develop a whole fucking personality based on you. And when you're gone, whether you're dead or alive, I'm gonna try to make money off you. And I've never met you once in my life. Oh, but I care so much. Yeah, I can see why somebody would, you know, see that coming in advance and go, I don't want to be any fucking part of that shit. Absolutely understandable. Or maybe to be more precise, it's like it's easy to see why somebody would be like, well, there's a lot of good here, and I can see that good, and the good is nice, but the good's not worth the bad. I can understand that. Tyler said the biggest truth I've ever been told, and this is from somebody who's like worked on cartoons and has made them for a long time. I won't mention them by name because they didn't tell me that. And so, yeah, you can quote me on that one. But they said to me, they don't know what they want. You have to figure out what the audience wants, then provide it to them in a way that they like, and they have no fucking idea what it is, and they won't tell you what it is. And if you listen to them, they're gonna lead you the wrong way. It's like, just make a good thing. There's no secret, there's no magic or anything like that. It's literally just take a shot in the dark as to what would make them happy. I'll have 2 gold coins to room back. Well, let's see if I can pick them up. I cannot pick them up, Roba Saint. That's why I left them there. Well, I just like streaming the games, Goblin. Like, I like taking the games and just broadcasting them. What value that has? None, really. Like, if you're enjoying it, then that's great, because that's all I want to do. I just want to bring enjoyment, right? I think I've brought entertainment to something to the tune of, like, 380 million people through things that I've acted in. Now, those aren't all solo acts. I'm not saying, like, I did it myself when nobody else helped. No, like, I did it with people. We did it, you know, but, the people, you know, I had to name off a pretty big list. Now we're through starring roles. How about we just put it that way? Through starring roles, I've entertained as an actor, as one piece of the puzzle. As one key piece of the puzzle. Hundreds of millions. That's what I always wanted to do. I think I could have walked away from this happy in 2018. I could have just stopped and I would have been fine. I've been like, no, I said I'll do what I want to do. Everything after this has just been, I don't know what it is. Just feels natural to do. Let's see. I applied for the Planet Dolan gig. I applied for, geez. I'm trying to think of other stuff I've applied for. I've applied for other things. It's just I can never remember the name. My Friendly Neighborhood. I applied for that one. I didn't go through. Applied for quite a few other things, and they, you know, went through, but then budgeting issues, non-release. Paid gigs, though. So I can't mention the stuff that didn't get made, because they may remake it, and you don't want, you know, you don't want the announcement of something being like, yeah, I worked on a thing and it got canceled. And like, well, we were going to reboot it, but then you kind of fucked up our advertising. You know, that's no good. But through my journeys in acting, I find out that, first of all, they don't pay you enough to live. And the only time that they'll pay you enough to live is if you're indispensable. So you gotta work with people that are fun. If it ain't fun, forget it. So to round it back to what I was talking about earlier, I'm relatively sure Shima just saw the writing on the wall for it not being fun. Probably saw serious people were taking like her too. You know, one of the worst things I got was people like going, daddy, 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 because I understand what that is. It's parasocial shit, you know what I mean? It's, you know, maybe 1 out of 10's no, 1 out of 10's a joke. Yeah, no, that's correct. Probably 1 out of 10's a joke, but unfortunately, the online animated thing that Planet Dolan did brought on a lot of parasocial kind of. Like, I watch the cartoons, so I understand you on an empathetic level. They had people that were like kenning the Dolan characters. Like, when I go to sleep at night, well, you know, they never pick Pringle though. I noticed. I wonder what's behind that. I don't know. Pringle is the best one, in my opinion. Love to work with Pringle. Pringle's like the best to work with. Pringle's dynamic and my dynamic was not exploited well enough. I'll say that if I had one thing to say. But I don't think the audience wanted that. I think the audience wanted they wanted me to either be beating the shit out of Doopy or pissing off Melissa or having Shima constantly just like whoop the shit out of me. Or just me making Dolan angry. I don't know. Me and Dolan together is pretty good too. I think I don't remember working together with anybody on Planet Dolan stuff and having a bad time. However, if I had to pick a favorite, it'd be Pringle, and Pringle doesn't get any love at all. Like they don't even like ask where Pringle is. You know, nobody asks if Pringle's doing okay. Like, hey, is Pringle still alive? They don't care. If Pringle died, no one would have given a, well, you guys probably would have. Folks here, I think would, but you know what I mean. You give a fuck. You give a fuck at all. Nah, you didn't miss anything, Mighty. I'm just rambling here, but Yeah, folks didn't check up on Pringle for a long ass time, and there was no like, where is Pringle? Like, Pringle was gone for a little bit too. He wasn't always like posting. He was like, he's taking like extensive amounts of time away from things. There's no what happened to Pringle thing that is like, eh. Pretty sure Pringle got his channel back, but he has been quite a busy guy, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just let it be. Let's see who else. No, I always think about Pringle because Pringle was one of the first ones. You know what I mean? He was a original cast member. He was there with Shima, myself, Tolop, everybody. Ain't getting no love.
Of Wands.
Pick something non-sexual to represent yourself. There was not a single member or anybody doing the Planet Dolan stuff that hated the porn. The only porn people didn't like was like the rapey stuff, but nobody ever likes that. Anytime somebody makes that, it's just some sad cry for attention. At best, maybe some people are serious, but I mean, like, what are you gonna do? Definitely a combination of people taking it too seriously, psycho stalker types, expectations of unrealistic expectations considering the limits of YouTube as well. Like, it wasn't easy for anyone managing it either. Like, I was real close with one of the people managing things, and it wasn't easy. Like, I ain't got secrets to give you or nothing. It wasn't like a behind the scenes deal or anything. But I get no appreciation for those guys. Nobody's asked what happened to Sidious. What happened to good old Sidious? Ain't nobody asked a damn thing about that. Oh, thank you, Jonathan. The model was drawn by Brian, and Brian is a terrific artist. Getting used to the controller. It's working out. Oh, thank you, Molten Amber. Those were fun. Without the hanged man, how the hell are you gonna get across this? That's weird. Well, I guess I can't take the bomb buddy with me because we gotta use the teleporter now. Hey, Bree, I hope you're doing well. I mean, you know, as well as you can in your current situation. Hospitals are no fun. Good to get help. Good to be on your way. Getting help, even, but, it is being there blows. So, the time passes by a little bit more quickly as you come, hopefully, towards the end of your time at the hospital. That's the first step towards them taking care of that, Breeze. Get rid of the infection, then hopefully everything will get better after. I appreciate you tuning in. I didn't plan to stream tonight. I was just like, let's just kick the tires. YouTube's been funky on me lately, and I'm like, oh, well, there that goes, pretty much. Not that I'm stopping, but I'm like at an impasse. Like, do you do a rat race mode, or do you just have fun with it? And my answer's always been to have fun with it, but every time they change a thing, you gotta like ask yourself at least a little bit. It's like, well, should I adjust? Because they're basically saying, hey, adjust yourself, right? It's like, oh, all right, but am I gonna have fun doing that? And the answer is pretty much no. Later, the goblin. I keep best friend, but teleport 2.0 actually is good in some scenarios. Oh, I thought we could be able to have a double charge on it, so I guess that was a one-time double charge. Fine, that's fine. Yeah, health up's a really good get on the pills for obvious reasons. Keeping the rest may run across a gambling machine, maybe. Should be a full card, right? Mm-hmm. I give you some other tip on acting too. Other tips on acting. Acting shouldn't be your primary, or your only, rather. Your primary, fine, but it shouldn't be your only artistic output. Like, acting is something that doesn't necessarily take a lot of time. It takes time to get good at it. You gotta invest in hardware. That's true, but like if you're 10 years in and the only art form you're doing is acting, that's kind of isolating. Even Jim Carrey paints stuff. He didn't have to. He could just be in almost whatever movie he pleases if he's willing to work for less. But you gotta branch out. Music's a great one. I've been having a lot of fun with music lately. Another nice thing about doing music or anything that's not under your particular brand is that you can work with new names. You don't have to deal with the, with how I'm publishing music, I don't have to ever fucking comment about Shima. Not ever again. Not at least under that one. So, fresh start's good. I hate to do that, though, but I've been enjoying it. It's part of the experimentation process is to be like, hey, so how would it be if I did it this way? And I'll tell you this, Spotify don't pay shit. But it's interesting to see it come together and work, though. Not just be stuck in the same area of things, Well, I'll say one bad thing about the Planet Dolan thing is that it does attract some folks who are like, I don't know. I just never liked the roleplay thing. The roleplay thing was always really off-putting. Just fucking invincible till I kill this one. I hate that. That's bad. That's a shitty design. Invincible enemies is always bad. Like I can't think of a time where invincible enemies I'm like, oh, thank God they made him invincible. That really made the gameplay loop more fun. To be like playing baseball and it's like, well, once in a while the ball just goes through the bat and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, that's not fucking fun. It might be fun to watch, like watch somebody swing really hard and know they hit it and go, what the fuck happened? But for the person trying to like do the thing, it's frustrating. Man, this mode's harder to reach hand into. Every time I look over, there's something just like throwing stuff at me from across the level. Hey, telefrags though. Damn, give me a chance to at least look over just for a second. Anyways, Easy Bake Oven said that's why they not only want to voice act, but they want to make cartoons because they like telling stories through pictures no one cares about. Hey, yeah, if it's fun. I'll say with cartoons, definitely look out for how long it takes for you to make your thing. I don't know anybody who's really happy about working like a year to make 8 minutes worth of animation, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're happy to launch it, and there's that real big moment of joy when people are watching it and you work very hard on it. That's fleeting. It's very fleeting. So, I mean, people are different when it comes to that, but generally speaking, it seems like a fleeting thing for a lot of folks that I've worked with and known and or watched myself. So I highly encourage folks to take advantage of every computer program you can. Doesn't matter what it is. Don't let people bully you out of doing things like motion tweening or taking shortcuts here and there as an independent artist, because they will not reward you for making it harder on yourself. I'll tell you that. The audience won't. The people, the artistes, the very snooty animators. They won't reward you for it either. There's no reward for, like, you know, putting in the extra effort. That's just something that they put on the end of a movie. Like, Studio Ghibli presents a hand-drawn motion picture. We colored it, not digitally, and put that on the box. But, you know, it's a marketing gimmick at this point. Mainly because the computer stuff's gotten good enough that it's somewhat indistinguishable from traditional frame by frame now. Not entirely, but in some cases almost entirely. Really depends on what they're doing, of course. But I've seen plenty of frame by frame animation that looks, well, I've seen plenty of animation that looks like frame by frame animation, but it fucking ain't. It is just outright digital puppetry, and it's amazing what people can get away with just as like it's hard to explain. Besides, I'm getting off my core point. Don't expect to be rewarded by working harder in animation. That's not how it works. In fact, that's how they get you. They bring people in, cook them, and then once they're cooked, they let them go, and then they hire in a new person to go, oh, welcome to the animation industry. Oh, you finally made it.
Spent our savings.
Yeah, I think I hate this mod just based off that. Like, here's some fucking invincibility things. You didn't get a notification, Tamusi and Geek? Yeah, I'm starting to think that that's normal. You want to learn live 2D for animation? That's good, Bree. You should. Tamusi and Geek says, nice cock, Helmet. Thank you. It's actually a horse on the jar, not a cock, but I appreciate the tip. Thank you very much. Oh my god. Of course, playing like shit doesn't help, but Jesus. Like, I can dodge those things, but god, that's the frequency in which they move and shoot is very annoying early on. And Harry found one. $2 says, hey, no notification. Thought I'd check before work. Thank you for the tip and thank you for letting me know. Yeah. I'm afraid I can't do anything about that. Like, about all I can do is, like, if I really wanted to combat it, would be like, okay, everybody who's watching has to click like. And you have to do that every time. And I'm ordering you to. And I hate to do that, because a lot of people just want to watch these and fall asleep to them. That's how it is. I always felt that was a nice thing. Hey, you're, you know, a little casual thing, nice and fun. A little easy to sleep to content. But YouTube's like, no, they have to interact. Make them get out of bed and push the fucking button and don't say the F word too many times. I already said the F word once. If I say it repeatedly, that is gratuitous swearing. You have to watch that. And the rules are easily misunderstood. It says, there are people like, well, there's no swearing for the first 15 seconds. No, there's an addendum there that says, and repetitive swearing. So you can't just wait 15 seconds and then go, well, now I'm going to start, you know, swearing every other word. But, you know, isn't really a sign of intelligence or good entertainment. But I like the option. Sometimes just tossing a good A fucker in there, like a good F word, just makes it more funny. Plain and simple. Holding money hostage. I don't know anything about that, but I believe it. Man, I am off. Or maybe I'm just not a big player of this mod. Oh man, Ludovicio. Too many invincible enemies and weird, like, you know. Not that the original Isaac was completely free of that stuff, but. Oh, there's an options menu for this. Let's look at it. Maybe there's like an option to turn off invincible enemies. Oh, they changed the vanilla AI. Yeah, that adds up. Let's force their bosses on and just leave everything else as it is. I cannot turn off invincible enemies. I can turn off all the stuff that makes the mod the mod. Yeah, there's a community decision thing. Not sure how that works. Okay, well, I learned something, I guess. Oh, no, well, for some of it is just me fucking up and not playing well, but I just hate the thought that somebody saw the enemy list in here and said, yeah, you know what? I think we can do a lot more with this invincibility stuff. I think we can make a lot more things invincible. It's like fun in a puzzle, maybe, but not in a general gameplay sense. That's my opinion, though. Some people probably like that, but I've never heard anybody say that before. Like, not a single time. And not in earnest, either. Someone would say, just because I said I didn't hear it, just to be a person like, no, I said it. Oh. But, no, I've never seen somebody in earnest say, like, yeah, I like it when, like, the enemies are suddenly invincible. It makes you... Well, it changes the strategy of things. Fuck. Oh, fuck. Hey, Easy Snake, I'm with $5, says Isaac's crying because I said the F word, Fiend Folio. Maybe. Thank you for the tip, Easy Snake Oven. I appreciate you. Oh, that's an awful item. That's not an awful item. It's just kind of lame is all, but all right. Yeah, everything's, yeah, the pog thing appears to be broken. Because I gotta like go disable that mod and like enable this one. That kind of stuff gets old. That's why I usually don't play modded games too much. It's like you step away for like a month, right? And then it's like, oh, nothing fucking works now. Why? Well, the guy who made the HUD mod updated a thing and it fucked up all the other mods, or the person who made the mod just had a bad day and decided to like let's cause the auto updated version of fuck with this other person. That was like a Left 4 Dead thing. What was it? Two Towers, Lord of the Rings mod map. The guy changed it to where like if you had that mod installed and then had another mod installed, it would just crash because he didn't like the other mod. God, people are weird and petty. I don't know, Sleepy Dog Zone. I'm kind of tired of talking about like DSP and Christian and like, you know, the punching bags of the internet. It is getting to the point to where it's like, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? It's one of the more predictable but still like awful parts of the internet is like the freak show. Where it's like, I'm a good person. See how much I hate the person everyone else hates? That's how you know. I'm a good person. That's why I regularly fantasize about horrible things happening to people I dislike. Easy Snake Oven asks, what's my... Damn, that item blows. This run sucks. I'm killing myself. What's my favorite Isaac character? Theirs is Azazel just because he's easy, says Easy Snake Oven. I feel the same way about Kane. The good pills is nice. But RNG can still just get you. I guess Isaac's probably the most powerful just because of the reroll. You know, post Mega Satan, of course. Bree says the best part of the internet always will be gamers sharing the love of games and the makers, crafts, DIY people sharing fantastic things they do. You're not wrong about that. And the cat videos as well. Yeah, remember cringe compilations? Those were like one or two of those was funny, but then after a point it was just the epic fail thing again. But like, you know, it's just America's Funniest Home Videos, but like a shittier, meaner version of it. Where like instead of like, you know, haha, man falls in pool, it's like, haha, I pushed mentally handicapped person into the pool, haha, cringe, or, you know, I dumped a bucket of feces on somebody during their birthday party. Look at their reaction. They hated it. Who would have guessed? Cringe. I think the reason why cringe works so well is that it made people feel like they had a place. Like, well, I'm not the one being laughed at. Like, It makes all the other pain go away, doesn't it? You're pushed on the playground by Billy and everyone laughed at you. Well, that went away because somebody had a piece of cheese thrown on them while they're on the toilet about to go to work.
Fish oil.
That fixes everything. It's definitely easier to filter the internet back then, Bree. Like, there is still the fucked up corners, but there definitely wasn't the weird, like, obsession with, like, seeing people ended. I noticed that too, like, one of the newer ones was like, Fallen Titans, did you know that this once popular thing is gone now? Which gives the presupposition that, like, all entertainment's meant to last forever. Like James Rolfe's supposed to be here for 200 years. Reviewing NES games. Fucking please. I think that's what my friend meant back in the day when he said you just can't listen to the audience whatsoever. And I thought that was crass when I first heard it. I was like, oh, come on, man, that's a little cold. Can't you be a little bit more lighthearted about it? But I see how folks who have, like, been doing these kind of things for a long time get treated, especially by people looking not only to benefit from another person's career financially, but to, like, view it, you know, the people who used to love the thing. They're like, oh, is it time for it to die? Oh, let's gather around the corpse of James Rolfe and pick at it. Like little angry, nerdy vultures. Meanwhile, he's actually doing fine. That's the other thing. He's like, oh, he's fucking done for. He's like, no, he's doing just fine. Literally doing okay. He's like, well, the thing talking about his downfall got a lot of views. You think he may have seen that? I bet he did. He's like, I doubt he gives a shit. Just look at how Doug Walker handles things. That's pretty much it. I think he had like a documentary or a book that he wrote, like a autobiography that people hated. Man, I'm gonna turn off them Fiend Folio bosses. They're kind of like overkill. I guess that's better. I don't know. Oh, Fleur, the change of channel stuff was insane. The water bottle complaint's my favorite. We went to go shoot remotely in the forest, and we thought Doug Walker would bring us snacks and water, and he didn't, and we got hungry and thirsty. It's like, man, he's not a Hollywood production. You gotta stop treating, like, Doug Walker like he's MGM or fucking HBO. Nerd Search with $5. Thank you, Nerd Search, he says. People who keep complaining about one person for such a long time to the point of repetition really screams, I have nothing else to talk about. Yeah, it screams that for sure. As well as just a weird, like, parasocial fixation, right? To where, like, I watch an angry video game nerd because it's funny, to where other people, it was like an institution for them or something. And, like, I get it. I remember being, like, a little kid and thinking that, like, Jungle Book was real. And we're like, man, I hope Baloo is all right. You know? But that's when you're, like, 3 years old, you know? can't be treating cartoon characters like they're alive. You can't be projecting your feelings onto James Rolfe or, you know, anybody, name account, even if they're a shitty one, even if they're one that you could like come up with reasons to hate, like, oh, I fucking hate Logan Paul. It's like, yeah, but you think about him all the time, right? It's like, well, yeah, I think about him. Well, then you're a fan. Like, I'm not a fan of Logan Paul. I fucking hate Logan Paul. It's like, yeah, you talk about him all the time, though. He's like, he occupies a gigantic portion of your day and your thoughts. So you love the guy. You couldn't live without him. And yeah, it does get annoying to hear after a while. I'd almost rather, if it was like, hey, you can either talk on stream, you can talk on stream, but it has to be about current drama news, or you could stay completely silent. I just wouldn't say anything. It's just easier. Less insanity. You get dragged into a conversation once in a while about it. I think it's okay in passing to mention, like, okay, let's say I got caught jerking it on stream. Like I was like, and then I got up here. I'm like, oh, hey everybody, how's it going? Y'all having a good night? I'm having a good night. And I keep going. Anyways, yeah, sure, people are gonna talk about that. It'll be brought up as a reference or something. Oh, I died in your run. That's sad, Red Dragon Emperors. Revive me or feed me as chili to the followers, whichever. Ooh, a plague of flies. It's a low-level item again. But yeah, Nerd Search, you definitely nailed it. That parasocial obsession is, even when it's on point and funny, it's immediately old. Like, it's immediately gotten old. Like, right there, the second I hear it, it's like, it ages like a meme, just fizzles out. Or even if new stuff keeps happening, it's like, can you believe that the fucking crazy person did another crazy? It's like, well, yeah. I didn't hear about it because I don't follow them around religiously. It's like, oh, well, I mean, how did you not hear? It's like, well, I don't hang out in the, hey, fuck this one guy Discord, you know? I'd rather play a video game. Damn, game's still being kind of rough on me, but that's fine. We can take it. Let's go to the next floor. Like that girl fluffing her boyfriend on stream. You know, I've heard that happen several times, Roba, and like, yeah, maybe in the moment you're like, oh my God, but afterwards you get, who cares? Or why? Not who cares. I know who cares, but it's like, but what's the real deal behind it, right? The closest thing to an answer that I can hear is like, we just think that they owe us something. Which isn't fair at all, but you know, of course, yeah, that's the thought, right? Like, they owe us. I'm Shima especially. Shima owes us. That's the worst one I've heard. Like by far. And that's what I've heard repetitively too. It doesn't like piss me off like on a personal level. It's more just like disappointing. It's like, wow, you really don't give a shit about her, do you? you don't give a fuck. I need my parasocial thing to attach to, and I don't give a fuck what happens to the person who makes it happen. Just make it now. Make it now. Make it happen. Bring her back. If that's how it is, they should have gotten an impersonator for Shima and just said, Shima's back. Nobody owes you anything, Robo. Oh, yeah, I know. Like, sane people don't live in that reality to where it's like, well, there's kind of this unspoken debt between me and the entirety of the universe. And we'll get around to that. Of course, the entirety of the universe composing of both you, I, and whoever. You pick one. Indebted. We gifted you with our attention. Oh, thank you. I mean, hey, I'm happy for it. Don't get me wrong. It's like a twisting of things. It's like, well, you like that? Yeah, you had fun with the attention. Looks like you owe me a little bit there for that one. These are all pretty good, honestly. I just hate to drop the Jira there. We can go back and get that. Audio is there. Anybody can make one of those IA. What the hell is that? Oh, you mean AI. Sorry, Robo. I'm like, what the fuck's IA? I haven't heard of IA. Anyways, it's just, it's all part of the start of moving it on to just be all Hollywood, you know. They'll still let a few people through the cracks and some legacy people will be hanging around, but like for what the audiences want, they want quickly made stuff, so no matter how much they complain about not wanting AI, they will buy all the products that use it. I'll say that about the AI thing. It's a losing battle because you'll never, ever, ever, not in a million years, completely fucking impossible to get people to not consume the content. And everyone knows that. So that's just not going to work out. Like, the AI is just going to be a thing. You know, enjoy what you got now if it's important to you, because that's going to be replaced. Now, I think that'll be fine. I don't think that's going to endanger a lot of people's good times or anything, but it'll be harder to bleed people for money. This will be more competition. Nobody likes competition. Well, actually, I don't mind competition, but on the internet, people don't like competition. I'll tell you that. The internet is one of the most competitive things out there that has ever been created. Folks hate competition online. They won't stand for it. I mean, they have put an AI Stan Lee Roba, and they got like a 3D model of him. That's a simulation. I guess people have painted that for years. What was the Tupac hologram? It was like the first real one. People were like, what the fuck? Why are you bringing this dead guy back to life with the computers? But I mean, people liked it. You know what I mean? It was like vocally hated, but it was consumed greatly. So I'm just saying, if they can make a hologram of Tupac Shakur and people will be okay with it, I'm pretty sure the AI thing's gonna fly just fine, whether you want it to or not. Now, me, in my opinion, it definitely shouldn't source from like just random stuff online, right? That's not cool. But rights handlement is bad online. They need to redo the whole copyright thing in general for internet stuff. Like if I like publish a drawing, I should own it, right? But you know, there's no move to make that happen. And the government doesn't care. Microsoft also owns a lot of the AI stuff too. It used to be Elon Musk OpenAI, then got sold to Microsoft, one of the biggest AI platforms in the biz. So there's that too. And the boycotts have been worthless. What are people saying? Don't buy the Harry Potter game? They're gonna buy the fucking Harry Potter game. Fucking completely worthless to. I don't even give a shit about Harry Potter. I think Harry Potter can be pretty fucking lame. No offense if you like it, of course. It's just, you know, it's not for me, right? I can't get to the 5th Harry Potter movie and still be invested. Maybe I'm just too old for it, you know. Maybe if I were younger and had some nostalgia for it, that'd be different, but it's like, fuck the Harry Potter game, the person who made it's a jerk. It's like, yeah, and people are still gonna buy it, though. You gonna make a Tupac Shakur VTuber model? Yeah, sure, why not? I mean, when Snoop Dogg streams games, he doesn't even play the game, so why would anybody care if there was a fake Snoop Dogg there or a fake Tupac there? Just take all your favorite rappers. For me, one of the funniest things I ran into in entertainment so far, I don't think anything will top it, is just the idea that doing fan works generates you more money than doing the actual thing. Like if you're in the biz for money, just literally do fan works, especially pornography. But I mean, porn won't do it alone. You still got to have some degree of talent. But I mean, you know, I'm not talking about getting attention or being famous. No, I'm talking like selling t-shirts and, you know, doing commissioned illustrations and stuff like that. And, yeah, just take somebody else's thing and just, you know, make it your own. Separate the art from the original creator. Oh, it's literally what they do. Yeah, they do it in a much more literal sense, or just messed up. I can understand when it's a service issue, though. Like, you know, you can't buy the manga, right? You can't buy it, so what are you gonna do? Just steal the whole thing? Sure. But I just couldn't sit there and claim to love something if I knew, like, the person working on it was, like, barely getting by every week. I was like, well, it's not convenient to buy it, so I just stole it, and then I made a bunch of t-shirts based off of it because, well, you're too poor to publish it, so you're too poor to come after me. And, yeah, I make most of my money off that. And I don't spend it on the product. I mean, as I've said, they don't release the manga here, so I gotta steal it. I just have to. They always got an excuse. Well, I don't have to support the thing. Hey, Sazbaz. Hey, Nez. What I consider New Game Plus with Cornbread and Elden Ring? You know, maybe with the multiplayer mod. They made tougher jumping invincible enemies in this. I'm starting to consider that I don't like Fiend Folio. Or at least I wish there were like a toggle for invincible enemies, like things with invincibility on them. I could just get rid of them. They just slow down the game so much. Larry the Snail, though, can stay. I might just turn off the Fiend Folio enemies. I don't know. Thing is, I want to play at the new enemies. They're nice. It's just the invincible ones. Ugh. It is good to see a lot of familiar faces, Ness. There have been issues with YouTube giving people notifications. It's been a bitch. And again, I've ran into it. I've had other people run into it. And the first couple times I heard about it, I'm like, oh, that's just bullshit. You know, viewers wane. Things just ain't doing as good. But, nah, I've seen it happen to other people way harder than this. Talking channels like 350,000 subscribers just, like, you know, goofed for, like, oh, like 2 weeks. And then creator just loses like the will to fight it and just goes away. Miss some of those guys. I like a lot what they do in Fiend Folio, but yeah, the tanky and invincible stuff is like not all that great. Yeah, you don't like it too much either, Easy. Yeah, you know, I think I kind of had the same issue with Anti-Birth as well, but Anti-Birth was a bit softer on that. It was just more of like, I don't know how to put it. But then a lot of people don't like Repentance, and I like Repentance, so I don't, it's hard to tell. Maybe the negative reviews on Repentance are all about the G Fuel, like, sponsorship deal, though. To which that, I have to say, like, dude, the creator of this game has a family, like a kid and all that. You know, let him, I don't know. Then again, the game is like $60, but come on. That's a bit much of a thing to get up in arms about. I get it, right? It's like, my sacred thing. Looking forward to Dead Space the Mighty. Yeah, we'll be doing Dead Space for sure. I don't care what's going on. I'm gonna love doing Dead Space again. Hell, I'd play Classic again before the launch if I knew I had the time to beat it all. Actually, I probably could beat it all. It's not that long once you know what you're doing. During my playthroughs of Dead Space 1 and 2, I definitely took the longer route just because it was more fun to examine things. Interesting little playthrough here. Yeah, I'm out. Hey, crazy mammals. All right, thank you, Ness. It's too much effort to fake it up. And I know that it does better, right? Like, it's called production value, right? It's important to have production value, but I don't know. I kind of just like having fun. And then, you know, if the production value comes, if there's a lot of energy, if I'm hyped and yipping and yapping and jumping around and having a good time and all that, that's good. That's great. It's got to be fun, though. The only rule I really try to adhere by is, like, if I show up, try to at least be there for 2 hours. 2 hours at a minimum. Not that that's, like, required. It's just, you know, it makes it for a nice archive, you know. You got to put a little effort into it. You don't have to, but it's nice to. It's fun to. You don't even got to take pride in what you work on. You don't got to do nothing, but, we do our things here and there. Okay, my book drops soul hearts.
I can see forever.
Hey, Stanfill. Just tinker around on YouTube. Figuring out some stuff and junk. Yeah, short of, shit. Well, I'll just leave anyway. Short of an update that, like, addresses a few things, or maybe, like, you know, a balance option or something. Probably won't be doing too much more Fiend Folio just because the abundance of invincible enemies. Might leave the Fiend Folio items on. At least there is an option for me to just turn on classic mode. But for the purpose of this stream, we'll just continue playing Fiend Folio as it is designed to be played. I like to try to keep things somewhat consistent. I wouldn't want somebody to like look at the title and go, oh shit, Fiend Folio, and then like, you know, oh, you're not actually doing that. Like this right here, this is the shit I'm talking about. This sucks. This sucks right here. Not even hard. Yeah, it's Crazy Mammals. It's a mod called Fiend Folio. It adds a bunch of new enemies and bosses and weapons and all that, and it's pretty good. With some notable low points and bad pots. But hey, what are you gonna do? Some of the room design count is frustrating and time consuming. All right, thank you, Ness. I appreciate that.
Shard.
I don't know what the fuck glass spin down is. I just activate spin down, rerolling all items in the room, subtracting their eternal ID by 1. Oh. That's stupid. I don't care for that. It doesn't. I mean, I'm sure it has a use. I'm sure it's great, but it's like, and secrets are nice, and it's okay if things are a little obtuse, but you know, enough's enough with some of that. Like here's the golden needle of Alcabar. What does it do? I don't know. And once you get it, it's like, well, if it's Sunday, it reduces your HP by 15%, but increases your attack by 3%. And that extra damage is really important, and more important than the health. So you really want to play the game every Tuesday and get the Schlooby-Doop. Of course, it doesn't say it, and you wouldn't know, but yeah, that's the meta. I hate that stuff. I think one of the best things about Binding of Isaac is that it frees you from a lot of that. So the more meta I see, the more I dislike, right? It's like, oh, there's a meta technique there, and there's a meta technique there. It's like, no, don't do that to me. It's supposed to be like, not a crapshoot, but it's definitely supposed to be somewhat random. Bacon grease, fine, that's fine. I've heard of the Tarnished mod. I have not heard of it. I'm almost modded out, I think. I've played a lot of game mods in my day. And I think one of the things I've noticed about mods anyways is that if a mod has like a lot of fucking problems and really sucks, it gets so much more leniency. So when someone tells me, like, there's this mod and it's just as good as the original game. It's got a few glitches because of indie development, but it's just as good. And I played and it's not. It's just not just as good, especially in the Skyrim and like Fallout, you know, area things. Like when people tell me to play modded New Vegas, I boot up modded New Vegas. It's just not great. Yeah, it reduces items by 1 count and swaps them, so it's like a dice shard, but it goes down by 1. So that would be useful if you had like an encyclopedic knowledge of what the number ID of each item that, you know, you grab in the game was, but I don't. And in addition to that, even if I did, it would take me a while to calculate what item I'm gonna get. And then in addition to that, it said items, so I thought a heart was an item. Apparently a heart is a pickup, not an item, so I gotta remember the difference between that. I'm like, yeah, it's complicated, but is that good? No. It's like the old problem to where they'll make a puzzle or something, and the puzzle is like elaborate, like a maze that just goes on forever or some shit like that. And I'll be like, you just can't stand the difficulty. It's a skill issue. It's like, yeah, I guess so. I'm just not as skilled in bullshit. Like, yeah. I mean, hey, if you like it, that's you. You do you. Some people are probably like real champs at the Denny's map on the back of the menu. You need a really, really good maze to get off, but for the average person, it's a bit much. The only game I've seen that really like got mega improved by mods, like, you know, the actual base regular game is just better because of that, is Command & Conquer Generals in 0 Hour. The mods that make that, Gentool is really, really good. It allows the game to do a lot of things on modern systems that it always could do. It's just EA didn't fund the game very much. I didn't even get the item for this level. Oh god.
Friends till the end.
Good night, Easy Bake Oven. Give your cat a good scratch. Yeah, Sleepy Dog Zone mods are good for the spectacle. But very few mods are like literal improvements, but they'll be listed as such, like Extreme HD Texture Pack. It's like, well, you did increase the resolution of the textures. Unfortunately, the game crashes half the time and most of them are misaligned, and like I gotta do like 50 other things just to get it to run. But I mean, you know, in this one area it looks better. I hate that. Don't want the book, just want the bookworm. I do see some cool mods though. Doom Eternal's got a multiplayer mod. Problem is, like, I don't know what the population for it is, but Doom Eternal should have shipped with just versus mode to begin with. I don't like how they handled Doom Eternal at the end of the day. I do like Doom Eternal, but I think that game was a little overhyped. I mean, the balance is better than Doom 2016 because they made the super shotgun and the Gauss gun way too fucking strong. But I mean, and they can't take that back because then it ruins the fun for a lot of people. But like, they fucked up the whole Hayden character, for one. He was a guy who, like, put his brain into a robot because he, you know, loves science so much, and they changed it. Like, well, actually, he's a multi-dimensional being. And it's like, I mean, yeah, that retcon makes sense, and I'm calling that a retcon because that's obviously what it is, but it, like, fucks the character up really bad. Makes him, like, not important. It makes him a bit of a weenie. He was intimidating in the first game a little bit. Like, it's like, oh shit, here's another a character in Doom who's somewhat intimidating and important. Wow. And then they reduced his importance very much and replaced you know, all of him, and for the most part Vega too, with the oh boy golly jillikers, the Jimmy Olsen character they added. And I don't play that game for the story, you know, but come on, man. Like, if you're gonna establish the story, don't just change shit like that. You don't like modern games as much as you used to, Stan Phil. I get excited for them, but there's definitely gotta be a specific one, because, yeah, a lot of the new shit's just like the old shit, and it's not very impressive. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, people were like, they don't make them like they used to. It's like, that's the problem. They do. They very much so make them like they used to. The same derivative, no new thing. It's rough. It's rough, Stan Phil. If more games had variety, that would be nice. It's not that I don't like my comfort. I clearly have games that I lean to. I don't play sports games or very many JRPGs here for different reasons. But, you know, nonetheless, they're not here. But if they released a JRPG that was impressive, I'd probably be dying to play it. Like, I guess you got Yakuza Like a Dragon, and then you got that One Piece game. But again, it's like, it's the same old shit. I am very impressed by how graphic-y the art is. And how, you know, look, everything's got lighting effects. It's fun. I like that. I'm not against that, but that's about all they got rolling. Maybe some better gameplay mechanics. Like, hey, we designed dodging to be a little bit like Dark Souls, because you guys like the Dark Souls dodge. And I'm like, okay, you know, it's getting a little old, but at least it's a solid mechanic. But they're running out of stuff to borrow from. And they're not making enough new things. And it's sad and frustrating. And yeah, usually I'd just be a little bit more hyped for Binding of Isaac even, but something about this Fiend Folio mod, maybe I'm just soured from like it not working earlier. But see, look at this area with the blood on the floor and the snail that you kick around. I like those portions of it. Of course, I'm gonna be picky. I'm a mega fan, right? I've put like 700, or probably way more than 700 hours that it says on Steam into this game. So I'm gonna be picky, but as I've said before, I never liked the invincible enemies. I always hated them. Like these guys that teleport around can be annoying, especially on greed mode, but they're not so bad. Because it's not like it teleports and then you can't hurt it and then it opens up and you get hit with one tier and then it moves. I feel like that kind of heavy-handed enemy design is bad because it kind of works with the presupposition that you either have some really overpowered stuff. Well, it's like, I get it, it's a way to deal with OP builds, right? Like the build's OP, you gotta be able to like, you know, neutralize the player a bit. But the amount of pressure it puts on you if your damage is just a little bit off or if you don't have a lot of character speed is tremendous, because then the game becomes about dodging and timing, which is fine. Dodging and timing is a part of every video game, but like to an extreme level. To an extreme level. It's kind of like the mushrooms that hurt you in Super Mario 2. Like those really didn't add much to the game. It was more of a nuisance than anything else. I like the looping levels where you have to solve the puzzle. Do you go up, down, 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 up, or down, down, up, or up, down, up, down? Figure it out. And there's a time limit. And it's like, fuck, man. I guess you gotta make it hard, but there's a difference between making something difficult and just like cramming it full of shit. It'd be like going, I made Thanksgiving dinner, and it's just like a bunch of Pop-Tarts mashed into like some fucking DiGiorno pizza and like some chicken wings are thrown in there, and there's like whipped cream and cherries in it. It's like, well, those are nice things, I like them, but well, I crammed them all into one place and it's really highly compressed into a little brick. That's not good. I don't want that. Here's a cheeseburger. I put it through a blender so you can drink it faster. That's what I get out of a lot of mechanics like that. Like you miss the point of what made the cheeseburger good, but drinking it through a blender kind of ruins what made it interesting to begin with. It's a different spin on it, but a different spin in and of itself doesn't make something good or interesting by default. Well, maybe interesting to like see for the first time, but are you really gonna stick with it? I don't know. Hey, Aisling, you put brackets around your name. Yeah, I can do facial expressions. It's fun. Still getting used to using it live while playing a game. Takes a little bit extra thought. I'm in the womb. I shouldn't be fighting all the rooms. Get out of here. Oh, the umbilical cord drips on you, I see. Stanville says most modern games usually don't have the loving care they did in the past. You had to make sure a game even worked. So many times I've seen a game released unfinished. Yeah, that's for damn sure. And like, I don't expect everything to be perfect. All of our favorite NES games and all that have glitches, right? And you see them in speedruns all the time. It's like, hey, if I jump against this wall 40 times, I'll go through it and I can skip half the game, sure. But you're not going to run into that normally playing it. But the games these days do tend to be like, well, geez, what's the best example recently? There's that game, Darktide, yeah. It's like, Darktide's finished. Can't wait to play Darktide. And then you play it, and it's like, well, we got like 3 maps. What? Aren't there more maps? It's like, yeah, well, there will be. The game's finished. And, damn, okay, can't use this slice. Got it, but, yeah, that game is advertised as complete. They advertised to buy a graphics card for it. It's like, upgrade your fucking computer to play this. It's too strong for consoles. And you boot up the game, and it's like, we got like 5 levels done. So it's not finished, essentially. It's unfinished. I don't know, indie games are often unfinished too, Ness. They don't get a free patch from that either. But it's nice to see some of them. I think the scale on retro or smaller games is better. Smaller games tend to be more finished. So if you buy smaller games or indie games, however you want to view them, you'd probably be better off. Proteus is good. It's derivative in the same old shit, but, you know, it's got a level editor. I just don't care for game reviewers. They lost me a long time ago. I just get way better information just watching somebody play the game. I don't need somebody to describe how they felt about it, because how they feel about it's definitely not going to be one-to-one to how my experience for it's going to be. I also hate the thing where people just want the review score for the game to be high because they like it. It's like, well, I like this game, so it should be rated high. It's like, well, what about the person's opinion? I don't give a shit about their opinion. It's like, well, then, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Not buying video games to make, you know, other people happy, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just pessimistic. Maybe I've grown nihilistic. Gaming news in general has gotten bad. It's just like press releases and opinion pieces. It's like something's gonna come out and I have an opinion on Bayonetta. And it's like, all right. By the way, this one game's 7 out of 10, whatever that means anymore. And somebody go like, 7 out of 10's a good score. Then like the people who wrote it go, actually, no, it's a bad score. We base it off the fact that a 7 is just below average. It's like, what? Well, I don't know. Fuck. Bingos for movies. Oh, yeah, Asian Night Omega. Not to mention, you run into the same issue with popular media online now that you ran into with popular music back in the day. So, like, here's one. There's a band called Milli Vanilli. Didn't like them. Don't worry. It was before my time. You don't have to look them up. But they lip synced to a song, and that was a big, oh no. they're lip syncing. They're not even. Oh, the cads, they lied to us. But meanwhile, like every other musician these days is lip syncing, right? Every single one of them is lip syncing. So like, imagine being them, being like, yeah, we lost our entire careers over this lip syncing debacle, but then everybody who hated us, well, it turns out they started doing it too for their music videos and their own live performances. Nobody gives a shit. So you know, what are you gonna do? Wrong place, wrong time. Maybe in a kinder world, they would have kept their stardom. Which is even weirder to consider, because when you think about it, it's like, hey, wait, they had fans though, so people did like the music. They're like, I'm not listening anymore because you have lip synced. But then someone else lip syncs and like, oh my God, I love that. It's such a showman. Inconsistent. Oh, the issue with the villain is they didn't actually sing, someone else did. Whatever. You're not actually singing when you get up there and lip sync to your own song either. Imagine enjoying those songs, then being like, oh, well, it's not really the people on stage singing, I hate them. The gorillas are faked. Yeah, that's what it is. It's almost no different. Not even a fan of them. I can't even name a song to save my life, but it's like, did you guys know that the gorillas aren't the cartoon characters? I liked the gorillas until I found out that the people who play the music weren't actually cool people in their 20s, but like these old dudes in their 50s. It really frustrates me. Hate it because the song sucks. That's all I'm saying. Why deprive yourself? Why be like, well, I want to like a thing, but even though I love it very much, I dislike it because of a tertiary reason that has nothing to do with the quality of the song or the product or whatever. Like, I didn't quit playing Ubisoft games because, like, they treat their employees like crap. I quit playing Ubisoft games because they got crappy. They're just not fun. They haven't released an interesting title in a while either. By the way, Ubisoft's in big trouble, so if you're an Ubisoft fan, well, get ready. The workers are already talking about unionizing, and they haven't released, like, a profitable game in a while, so... That's bad. Why don't they just make more Rayman games? People seem to really want those. They never made one. This room sucks. Oh, bullshit, I was standing on decorative tile. Whatever. I like the enemy art. Like, that little guy, if that was just his edition, that little dude wouldn't be so bad. Those little tiny homing shots, little pot shots he takes at you. It's like they ran out of ways to challenge you, so they made things tiny and invincible, which is effective but boring. And down I go. It's just as good. Well, you know, I had fun. I just don't think I'm a big Fiend Folio guy. Woodsman says, in the last 6 months, they've canceled 7 VR games. One was a VR Splinter Cell. And the other was Ghost Recon Frontline. It hasn't been said what the other ones are. Damn, that's intense. If the controls don't feel right for Dead Space, you can't like it. I think I can handle it, but yeah, you can fuck up the controls really bad. The new Dead Space remake looks like it's going to be fine. And I like the Callisto Protocol, too. Callisto Protocol, however you pronounce it. I thought Callisto Protocol was very nice. I didn't mind it. Outside of the fact that it ran like shit on PC. If it ran nicer, people would probably give it a little bit more good grace, but things as they are, I thought it was pretty fun. I didn't have too many issues with it. And here for the Dead Space remake, it's like they connected the whole world together, and then when you backtrack on places, things like the lights can pop out. And it can be all like different random things that can happen. Now, it's either going to be a nightmare, it'll be fun, but if it's kind of like Left 4 Dead to where like, oh, I got to go to the left now. I got to go to the left instead of the right this time. Because the game engine director decided to say, hey, you go here. And hey, the lights are out in this room. Usually they're not out, but this time they are. That could be fun. Hopefully they put in a way to just lock in the game too for the purist, but if you're a Dead Space purist, you're just gonna play the first one. You're not gonna play the remaster if you're a purist, so yeah, I don't think they need to take the time to put effort to put in things for people that aren't gonna play the game to begin with. So, I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun. That says they should just make another Mario game. That's not overdone at all. I'll give Nintendo credit, at least out of all the game publishers that have ran out of ideas, at least Nintendo's smart enough to keep repeating the good ideas that they had. They don't often repeat their bad ones, which is good. Ubisoft seems to be like hell-bent on replicating their worst ideas. Like, remember how The Division 1 had a rough launch? And putting everything on Epic Game Launcher and the Ubisoft launcher and the de novo DRM and all the pay-to-win elements and all these things that people complain about. You know how those didn't do so good and we had to give the games away on Humble Bundle later just to get people to play them? Let's do more of that. That's Ubisoft's method. Ubisoft is like Nintendo if they just took all the fucking stinky shit ideas and just said, yeah, let's do those over and over again. That's really good. Yeah, I love it. Woodsman says Callisto Protocol underperformed so much the sequel might not happen. That's fine. The ending wasn't all that, like, great. It had, like, a cliffhanger ending to where it's like, and then find out what happens in the sequel. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, the prison got shut down, and I assume the other two characters just sorted it out, and it's fine. I wanted to sell 5 million copies at $50, $60, $70. Yeah, that was never going to happen. Not with how they released it, because, yeah, the investors, I guess, were like, Christmas! It has to be out before Christmas! We gotta get it out there, scare everybody for Christmas time! But if the game runs like shit, then people are gonna refund it on PC, so you don't get your money there anymore. Steam fixed that. You can't do the old bait and switch to where it's like, just fucking release it and patch it later. Because then when it's on Steam, they'll just go, oh, well, I played it for 30 minutes and it crashed, so I just got my money back, and they lose out. I just don't understand why they don't understand that. But then again, financing and everything is a lot like consumption. Deciding what people want isn't based off of fun or common sense or anything like that. It's just what the graph says. You know, the graph says this. And likewise for people consuming things, it's like, the graph in my head says this. I like Mario. So I'll buy every Mario game over and over and over. I don't care how repetitive they are. I'll buy Mario 3D Land on the Switch so I can play it. Because even though I own a Wii U, I want it on the Switch as well. I need to buy the same game 5 times over. I need to buy the HD upgrade version of a game for the PS4 to the PS5. Because, you know, they have to charge you. It's expensive. It's expensive. I can't... the reason why they got to charge you the $10 extra is because it costs $10 extra on PS5. But I just don't... That's stupid. I hate that. It's just it's so dumb. They're nickel and diamond people to death out there. Hey, Nicholas Coleman, good to see you. I'm just wrapping up over here. This is just a shorty. I'm just popping on to say hi. Kicking the tires on a few things, having fun with y'all. But, yeah, I'm at the end here. Robo Saint says, I'm sure if Ubisoft dies, Nintendo's going to pick up the Rabbids franchise. I doubt it. I don't foresee Nintendo purchasing Ubisoft. Like, they barely handled Rare, and by the time Microsoft bought Rare wasn't really worth a whole lot. I guess Donkey Kong, and yeah, but they didn't, and Donkey Kong 64 sure was popular, sort of, but it didn't do Mario 64 numbers. So we'll see. And yeah, Woodsman says Skull and Bones has been development and delayed 6-7 times. About the same time as Duke Nukem Forever spent in development. Sure, yeah. I don't see Nintendo buying Ubisoft or any of... They'll buy a smaller studio, maybe. But Ubisoft's gonna, like, try to charge them way too much. Like, I like Far Cry, but it's not worth $1 billion. It's not worth $500 million to own Far Cry. Just make a different game that's like Far Cry. Why do you even need the... And plus, it's Nintendo. And Nintendo released a game that's like Far Cry. They can just market it as their own thing. They don't need Far Cry's name. They got the Nintendo name already, so they don't need any of that. The real funny thing is Returnal's coming out on PC, which means there's only one exclusive game on PlayStation, because you can emulate Demon Souls now really well. So since Demon Souls can be completely emulated, we have our PC port of Demon Souls, and it's free apparently if you know where to find a Blu-ray anyways. The only game that is completely exclusive to the PlayStation brand that anybody cares about is Bloodborne. And then once Bloodborne gets emulated, that's it. The only other thing that would be there would be Until Dawn Back to Blood, that VR game. You know, the PS VR game where you got to put on the headset and you're like in a little minecart and you're like pow, 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 pow with your light gun. It's real fun. It's based on Until Dawn by Supermassive, or is it Supermassive or Massive Super or Ultraman, or whatever, one of the devs, the people that did the Until Dawn game. So you have a VR light gun shooter, Astro's Playroom, and Bloodborne. That's all they got. What about the God of War franchise? I mean, Ragnarok's on PlayStation 4 right now, but it's coming to PC. I guess the PS2 God of War isn't on PC, but again, you can just emulate that too. So since they declined to provide us a way to play God of War on PC, everybody's just playing it for free. So a fat lot of good that did. We won't release it on PC. That would be ridiculous. It hurts our brand to do that, you know. We gotta secure our brand so we can make more money, and then it comes out on PC through emulation. But I mean, they made a lot of money off Spider-Man and God of War and Until Dawn. Not Until Dawn. Oh no, yeah, Until Dawn. And what is it? Journey. Journey was like one of the first Sony games to come over. And yeah, Sony's been releasing stuff on PC forever. Hell, Twisted Metal was on PC. It was like a simultaneous PlayStation 1 and PC release when it came out, and that did really good. So, I don't know. The whole issue with Sony's weird. Sony's in a strange place. I don't think they're in danger, but they're like one or two bad moves from like having nothing. Like zero. Just the only reason to get the PlayStation would be the adaptive triggers and PlayStation Now. Yeah, our services, our monthly fees. Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Ness says Pokemon is a prime example of people just keep buying something they love even if it sucks. Well, it's true. I'm not innocent of that. There are plenty of games that I'll always buy. Like anything id Software makes, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm part of the problem. Like, I didn't like Doom Eternal too much in the long run, but I still paid for it. And if they released an expansion pack for it, I guess I'd play that too. I don't hate it as much as I say I do. I have issues with it, but it's not, you know, bad. But then you look at Nintendo and they're releasing, the Pokemon company's releasing some real buggy stuff now, huh? Which is abnormal. Usually Nintendo is the exception. It's like, well, I mean, a lot of games come out buggy, but if you buy a Nintendo game, it comes out you okay most of the time. Well, not anymore. Now they're all buggy and they don't work. Oh, and Nintendo can't develop an online game to save their lives. They got Splatoon, which was running on like Windows 98 servers for a little bit because it's all they had laying around. It's weird. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for why that's totally fine. It's just strange, right? Like, you'd think, like, at least you would upgrade the OS for security reasons. Something like that. But no, they're running Splatoon servers off little Windows 98 boxes. It's just strange. Like, they didn't invest in online at all. And then the Switch, they're not going to release a Switch Pro, which is fine. But, like, iPads are stronger than Switches now. You know? Yeah, the Switch still remains kind of expensive, so, you know, what are they going to do? Are they going to, in 2 years, are they going to release more Switches and charge us more, or is the Switch going to be like, you know, $90? Because if it's like $90 for the Switch, then that's fine, yeah. Put it in a new battery and a fancier screen, make it cost $150. But they're not going to fix the Joy-Cons. They're not going to do any of that. It's just going to remain this, it's just sad. I'll give Sony this. At least they tried with the PS5. It's a very powerful console. I don't think the Pokemon Company can step away from Nintendo NES. There's probably a reason for that being like a really dumb financial idea. At the end of the day, even if the people working at the Pokemon Company love their work and love their work on Pokemon, they still got to eat food. And with the way they get treated in game development, I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed with Nintendo forever, even if they had an option to break away from them, because you just want to get fucking paid. You got to get fucking paid. And I don't think the fans of Pokemon could actually financially support the business. So if they ran off and made like a knockoff Pokemon, let's say the Pokemon Company said, fine, we're going to leave, and so we can't take the Pokemon franchise, fine. We'll make something just like Pokemon, and it'll be from the developers of the original. People wouldn't buy it. They would leave it, and Nintendo would hire like some American company like Blooper Team that makes horror games to just do Pokemon, and then they would just make it, and it'd be fine. Or who did Pokemon Go? Natalis or whatever. They just get the Pokemon Go people. They go, you guys make Pokemon now. And then people would play those. So the Pokemon Company 100% owns Pokemon. I don't know, it just seems wrong. Like, that's probably factually right, but it just seems incorrect. Like, there's got to be some kind of deal with the devil they made with Nintendo to where it's like, well, I mean, yeah, you guys own Pokemon, so you pay taxes for it, but I'd be shocked if they could pull away from Nintendo and be like, yeah, I own Pokemon. No way. I'd say not in a million years, but there are copyright laws that would actually make it to where they could own it in a million years. So that would be wrong, but Not in 100 years or 80 years or whatever it is now. Original Mickey Mouse Steamboat Willie's gonna be public access, so public domain. So somebody could release a PS5 game with Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse and have them like stab cats or do something fucked up and nobody can stop them. That's fun. I think that's fun. Hope more. I really do hope more copyright expires. That would be nice. Yeah, Sleepy Dogs on the Switch has been out for about 5 years. Yeah, I think Zed. I think Nintendo effectively owns Pokemon. I don't think that Game Freak and Creature is gonna be like, well, Nintendo, we disagree with how you're doing things, so we're taking Pikachu and all them, and we're gonna make our own. That's not gonna happen. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit's been in public domain for 4 years. Yeah, but nobody knows who the fuck Oswald is. That's like Walt Disney's first try. It's like beta Mickey Mouse, the beta copy, the early access Mickey Mouse. But you know, if Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse is out and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit's out, you can just start making Disney products now at that point, and there's really nothing they can do. And that's unprecedented. That's new. Nicholas Coleman, Mrs. Sega. I mean, they just released a Sonic game, didn't they? And Sonic Frontiers out. I tried playing that. I liked it. You know, I actually did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. It was fun. And then you get to the second island, and it's like, same old shit over and over and over again. But maybe I'm just getting, like, you know, tired of things. You know, that could just be my pessimism. I tried Final Fantasy Online and had a good time playing that, so I can obviously enjoy relatively new things. That was made 10 years ago. But, the new Final Fantasy Online game's pretty fun. I had fun playing EverQuest, and that was completely free. But you notice none of these are new games. Like, what's the next big one? Well, we got the Dead Space remake, but that's a remake. But you got Atomic Heart. I hope that's good. People are saying don't buy it or else you support the war. And I'm like, fucking please, give me a break. Always with the wanting to control your wallet deal, just for power. They don't even really care. Like, at the end of the night when they go to bed, they sleep like a baby. They don't even give a shit. But then, like, you know, if you say, I bought Atomic Heart, they're gonna be like, you support the bad thing. I bought Hogwarts Legacy, you support the bad thing. Performative. Completely performative. No substance, no actual feeling. Big T says new Zelda. Yeah, they're working on a Breath of the Wild sequel. That'll be fun to play on the emulator. It'll be nice to be able to play it at like 1080p on an emulator instead of like, you know, 420p on a Switch at 30 frames a second. Woodsman's still waiting for 6 days in Fallujah. Yeah, what happened to that? I was supposed to be evil and buy it. I was gonna buy it and be a bastard and play it and be like a bad guy for playing it, but then they didn't release it, so I guess they don't want my money. Or maybe they got like actually suppressed somehow. That would suck. Oh well. That's just the way it goes in entertainment. You can't have nothing nice. Not when there's money involved. Let's see, Flirth says, they enjoy Sonic Frontiers completely, but they have gripes such as the traditional levels not really being important. You can literally beat the games without those if you hate 100%. Oh, I can? I didn't notice I could find a key here and there without having to do those. But I also thought the running levels weren't all that great either. They were okay. And yeah, you are right, Flirt. The enemies I did run into, like, some of them are cool. The flying squid thing was really neat the first time. And then you fight another one, and it's like, oh, this again. And it gets stale pretty quick. That is correct, Ness. The game companies don't understand us, and we don't understand them. That might be the biggest problem. They don't understand how much money we have to spend on games, and we don't understand how much it costs to make a game. So we ask for things that can't be provided, and then they put things in that we don't want because they want extra money. It's like, but we want more of your money. You're like, well, we want more of the video game. And we can't meet in the middle because we're trying to like get up each other's a-holes so hard. Like, now I win. I'm the dominant force here. It's a funny struggle. Even Binding of Isaac has controversy. They did the G Fuel sponsorship and people got really angry about it. What are you gonna do? All right. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. It's just a Wednesday stream. I appreciate you dropping by for a little bit of Binding of Isaac, Fiend, Folio, Reheated. They updated the mod. I don't care for it. God help me. I think I might actually be getting tired of Binding of Isaac. Because I gave this game a good long break. What was it, like 2 months? 3 months? 2 or 3 months? Now I'm playing it, and while there are a lot of things I've enjoyed, it's like it's crammed with things that I don't enjoy. Particularly invincible enemies. I just don't like them. They slow the game down. I like it when the game has like a nice pace to it, and those things just come in and fuck the pace up real bad. Then Fiend Folio's like, let's put in even more, and not for me. Good night, Austin T. Good night, Sleepy Dog Zone and Flirth and Roba and Ness. And Stan Phil. We'll be back tomorrow with what? I don't know. Just whatever I feel like at the moment. As far as the schedule goes, we're going to keep the regular schedule that we have been, but I'm probably going to break it up and just stream when I have free time. So I apologize for that in advance, but I don't know. There's other hobbies I want to get into, and there's other hobbies I'm participating in, and social life and work and all that. And with YouTube kind of being a bit of a shit with the whole, like, hey, we don't recommend videos this for the next, and this has happened before, so this isn't a new thing that I'm angry at. I've seen it happen, and I just kept my mouth shut about it, because it's like, what are you gonna do? You're powerless. But I see it happening again, and it's like, okay, so we're gonna have waves to where it's like, oh no, it just doesn't like put the shit out to the audience that subscribes, and it's not gonna recommend it to anybody either, and it's like, fuck, man. There's two options at that point. There's either like lean back and just enjoy what you're doing and don't fret about it too much, or focus really hard and feed the algorithm what it wants, and then, you know, get your fill. And I just don't have the mentality to do that. I just want to have fun, man. I ain't looking to, like, you know, be king of the hill, top of the system or anything. I'm here to entertain people. I would like to be the most entertaining person on the planet, but only if I'm having fun. If it's miserable, it makes me sad and angry and tired and exhausted and frustrated and bored. Most importantly, bored. Doing what people really want is boring. I don't want to play Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't want to play fucking Roblox. I don't want to play Friday Night Funkin'. I don't want to play whatever the new popular thing is. Oh, it's so popular and fun. You better play it to get people to watch. Oh, I hate doing that. That is so boring. It's not even an issue like, oh, my pride or dignity. I don't care. It's just entertainment. We're all clowns here, but it's like, hey, play this thing that sucks. Everybody loves seeing it. There's some exceptions to that. You always get notifications for the streams, Robo, saying that's good. Thanks for voting on the poll. And let me know how things work. I appreciate that. Yeah. With things as they are, there's not too much reason to put that extra effort in, I'm afraid. But that's okay. I got a few other things coming down the pipeline that are fun to make. So I guess from here on, it's going to be less about schedule, more about fun. Just to cost, well, being on YouTube, really. It wouldn't be that much better on Twitch either, though. Or Facebook gaming. We can do Facebook gaming. How about Rumble, everybody? You want to go to Rumble? No. It's just the cost of things. Just running your own website isn't what it used to be. In the old days, you could just run a website and put your videos on there, and I suppose you can these days, but it definitely ain't the fucking same. Groba says YouTube trying to gear gaming content towards kids. Yeah, it is weird. It's like, hey kids, come play Call of Duty and Mortal Kombat and Doom and Hatred and whatever booby game. It's pretty lame. So yeah, welcome to the age of the machine. If you think it's bad for folks on YouTube, wait till it reaches the art and illustration world. Oh, it's gonna be rough, but well, you either roll with the punches or you get knocked to the ground. So I'll roll with the punches, have some fun. With that being said, I'm out of here. Just give you a little update since a lot of longtime viewers are here. Appreciate you very much for dropping by on a Wednesday. This is usually damn not live, so good to see you. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. Same schedule this week. It'll probably be broken up next week as things move forward. But I'll be here, just in varying degrees and different forms. So that'll be it for tonight. See y'all tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for chatting. And thank you for your ridiculous generosity to Moosey and Geek and Ari Fallon, Easy Snake Oven, and Nerd Search. I appreciate your contributions very much. It all goes towards buying horrible snack food and more video games. And I appreciate y'all for financing my crippling video game and Slim Jim addiction. It's amazing. And well, I'll show you more of the rig later. This isn't even the whole set of expressions I got for this thing. I just put in the couple for now, just for fun. Anyhow, yeah. Y'all have a good night. I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Good night. Bye.